What is going on? I'm Zedmot, again with the Warships, again with the creator boost. Zedmot in every single Supercell game. A free instant training there, 200 diamonds, free, that's up to you to decide. Regardless, we are going to jump in. First of all, Boom Pass. Some of you have gotten an all Cryoneer task. That is probably the hardest task yet. You can't even use a hero. We'll leave that one alone. Do let me know if you need some help with that one. This is my lower of my two warships. This is the only warship I'm playing at the moment, and the reason for that is because I went back and got flares. If you are just bored out of your mind, it is a step backwards, but getting flares is so helpful. It makes this season and its treading of water way more palatable. And I know some people have gotten into Heavy Choppas and 6 engine rooms and Seekers and all the rest, but this account is stuck back here. We are going to get that troop health. We are going to get a little bit more oomph. Now, what I've been doing with my flare is, let's do a quick little drawing here. I am clearing this engine room and then flaring back into this neighborhood, which ends up getting your troops so that they're spread out along here, which has them going every which direction. It just works out fairly darn well. Hoping I can show you some replays on that. Things were going fairly well here. Losing, winning, my times when I win generally depend on which engine room level I'm matching. Somewhere around 220 is not great, but at least it's enough to win. I matched OP Destroy yet again when he was live streaming yet again. As you can tell by these numbers, I was already playing though. I'm not trying, I would never try to screen snipe someone. Let's have a look here at some battles. I'm not exactly sure when I got flares, but notice not dropping all 8 boats. Also, using 2 boats of heavies is enough for the most part. Using Kavan to get him wide, get him running in, and then clearing all of the things. We don't need to do any flares on this because their base lets us walk both directions, getting all of our troops spread out fairly well. Kavan giving all sorts of stuff, and then finally throwing that flare to get that engine room down. So when I say I'm using flares, only on bases that force you to use flares. So again, more drawings by me. This base forces you to go that way, so I would flare something in this neighborhood just to break, not to rage against the machine, to not go the way that their base makes us go. Now, OP Destroy on his wife's account, I believe Sunboom is his wife's account. I never recognize it in my log. Has lots and lots of defenses. I do not recommend being at the 4 engine room level. Sure, it will work, but 5 engine rooms beats 4 98.7% of the time. And this is my next point. This is why I decided to make a video today. I was tempted not to because I'm just treading water, and again, I am trying to get ready for spring break, which means lots of extra time with kids and packing and getting work out of the way. You see here, like, those rocket launchers are something to be not to be trifled with. And quick note on that, in your tech tree, medkits. Tick 3 is generally enough, but we've got lots of tokens up here. That's not what I meant to click on. Lots of upgrade tokens. So do spend those tokens, get those med kits upgraded, and everyone is going to get into that extra troop health, or that troop health, I should say. So that troop health does help. You're at 100% troop health depending on which road you went, which path you went. Actually, I guess everyone has 100% troop health. So do get into that troop health, but here is the next bit. All along, I was saying I am rushing to those Heavy Choppas, and we will get to Heavy Choppas on this account, but I would recommend going to 6 instead. Skip the Heavy Choppas for now, get to 6, because just like 5s beats 4s, 6s beat 5s. I'm likely to get some 6s in these replays, and you'll see that I did beat Max here. and I believe I still had those 3 boats of heavies loaded, which I think was a mistake here. Only need 2 boats of heavies 99% of the time. Those extra heavies were by accident, but you see, feeding those troops out, so getting our troops going this way and then dropping more troops so they go that way. Don't drop all your 8 boats at once. It is a bad idea. Getting your troops walking forwards, getting them spread out, and then flaring across. And you see that the flare across got all sorts of troops over there, and look how good that spread was. We ended up getting troops going there, and troops going there by flaring a defense. Almost always want to flare a defense. By flaring a defense, you end up having your flare duration cut in half. So lots and lots and lots of good things happening there. On to Watchmen. This was my boss battle for 18. It was important for me to push to 18 yesterday on this account because I was, like, generally speaking, if I don't make it there before 4 o'clock my time, I'm not gonna make it because all of the people who started the season early get their tech, and I am still playing catch up. So sleeping in on this season means that I slept for the first 10th of the season, something along those lines. So maybe 20th of the season, and on a short season, sleeping in just means you're constantly trying to catch up. So this season in particular, I feel like I missed a big push point, and so it's all about, and you see that, bringing these guys in. So we cleared all of this stuff and this stuff and these guys as a result. I should use a different color arrow just to try to get, I'm doing more drawing than typically, but getting those guys late, dropping Kavan on that back right-hand side means that those troops just walk up that right-hand side without even needing to use flares. Now, it is a tiny bit slower because obviously you're dropping troops late and you're wasting seconds doing so, but you end up being faster and we end up getting troops onto 2 engine rooms. And I'm probably not using flares as often as I should be because I played most of this season without them, but there are a lot of good things that can be done with flares, and I will try to show you shortly. And also note that we will also have Heavy Choppas shortly, which is when flares will be a bigger deal. So trying to get rid of these defenses first, which will allow these troops to go bang to that back. Probably wasted a good 3-4 seconds there, and then getting our troops to ignore that mortar by sending that flare onto that doom cannon, and then getting our troops onto engine rooms, and we don't want them to go back and get that mortar, so we flare yet again, and out comes the spread, getting our troops onto things, and probably overusing flares in that instance, but really didn't want them to go back and get that back mortar. Let's get going. We got 2 chests to claim. Now, if I was all about you guys being like, my god, Zedmod is good, I would probably do these videos after I've claimed my chests because my account is going to win after I get chests. We're going to lose getting those chests. It's just one of the facts of life on booming of the beaches. We're going to go something like this. We'll get 4 boats clearing this front bit. That way we get that cleared as fast as we can. Gonna drop Kavan over here. That way he doesn't run into harm's way. Now, I have been wasting a second wind on rifles. That is on purpose because rifles end up clearing a bit more mines. They get shot in the face a couple more times. And now these guys should, in theory, make the left-hand turn. So we've got decent things happening. Those guys on the right probably are going to get sucked in by that sniper tower. Little bit unfortunate, so our intentional drop not so perfect, but what we're going to do here is get all of this front stuff cleared, and then we're going to flare all the way back there, just absolutely ignoring that flamethrower. Don't have smoke, so that might be a little bit of a problem. Dropping that second wind, and now we've got a decent split our bombardiers are going to go backwards, they're going to go forwards, they're going to go left and right, and we don't have them all walking to this cannon. So the fact is, we've got them dealing with that Doom cannon back there. We've got to get a shock out here, and then as our troops start to move forwards, we're going to have all sorts of goodness because they're in a central position, but they're not all sitting central like getting wrecked by mortars central. So now that we've got moving forwards, that Doom cannon is gone, that engine room is gone. Probably should have flared a while ago, but I was too busy over explaining things. Boom tuber splaining, you splaining, mansplaining, I don't know what that is, but 2 minutes 20 seconds against Juventus, a good soccer football team. I don't know if they're actually good anymore. Is that where Ronaldo was, or someone good went there? A good friend of mine is a big Juventus supporter, so I should be able to tell you who is there or was there, but I can't. We are going to pick up the win. I told you we were going to lose, but we picked up a win instead, which is even better. That troop health, making it even more relevant to not use more than 2 or 3 boats of heavies. The number of heavies I see people using, like this person's got 2 boats of heavy choppas. I do have the defense. So this account, sorry, getting my accounts confused. The fact is, I do have that defensive building damage, so maybe that makes a bit more sense, but 2 boats of heavies plus Kavan's second wind most of the time should be good, unless you're getting against super dirty bases. This person, opponent boost, they have all of the things. They have building health, building damage, troop health, troop damage, and GBE. So this person is not going to the 6 engine room level anytime soon. Got to figure out where our troops are going to go. So all of this stuff right here is just drawing our troops towards this side. So we're going to try to break that a bit. Let's see what the heck we can do here. I have not been using flares on my drops nearly enough either. We're going to get something like this going. We're going to get one of you back here, a couple of you over here. And now as this stuff starts to clear out, we're going to try to figure something out. Let's get you over here, and then you over here, and Kavan over here, because otherwise all of our troops are going to hit all of those mines, which is not going to be super duper fun. That Doom cannon gonna be a bit of a pain in the butt. Let's get a shock on that just to get our troops moving forwards. Kavan bringing out some rifle dudes. I don't typically advocate shocks this season. I generally don't use any shocks. I try to use all of Kavan's second wind instead. Second wind doing all sorts of better things, but where this Doom cannon is, and I missed the Lego shock, and where that boom cannon is, just wanted to do a little bit better. And now we've got a couple guys going backwards, so we are going to use all of our GBE to try to send some guys back to protect against those boom cannons eating up all of our bombardiers. And we've got decent results happening, but I'm going to flare onto that sniper tower instead, which is going to allow our troops to avoid some of this garbage. Not good. I wasted my shock down here when I've got heavies out front, and now these boom cannons underneath that sky shield are eating up all of our bombardiers, and we're going to be a little bit slower as a result. So very much making mistakes on this account, on this attack, but we are going to try to get back into here. There we go. Getting a shock out there simply because of the fact that it's too late and the damage is done. Used too many shocks down here, and that also used a shock over here that I definitely shouldn't have, so we had to flare back here. Didn't have any troops working on this engine room. Might as well waste a shock instead of throwing a flare, and we're gonna be slow. Need to be 2 minutes 10 to win most battles, 2 minutes 20 to win even more percentage, and we're gonna fall in and out of 18 like bad danger. I think we're getting close to getting those heavy choppas though. Let's see here. Do we has them yet? No, of course we're 4 tokens. By the way, speaking of warships, I suggested achievements to the team yesterday. I am all about getting all of the achievements. Now, this person has 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%. They've got shock blaster and shock launchers. I'm tempted to use an extra bow to heavies just because. Let's do that, see how it goes. We are gonna drop you here, you over here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get one more in the middle just to be overly cautious. And then let's get Kavan on this far left-hand side. Not going to use any shocks. Shocks are the waste of GBE that I don't want to do. So the last attack we had way too many shocks. This time we're just gonna keep pumping those second wins. And that should, in theory, allow our troops to just walk through this shock blaster and shock launcher. Just got to keep pumping those second winds. Now, as far as flares go, we're going to clear towards that shock blaster, and then we're going to flare to that mortar back there. Don't need to deal with most of this stuff. Just got to get a little bit more oomph going forwards, getting rid of that shock blaster, getting rid of that cannon, and then flaring back there. Yes, we're gonna have to deal with that sniper tower a little bit, but not overly concerned. Our troops should do a nice little spread from there. And now, you know what? Let's flare onto that engine room right there. I am going to use a shock about there just because I want to make sure that we don't lose any bombardiers on this. You know what? Let's just flare. Getting the flares going onto that engine room and then getting the flares onto that engine room. Now, we don't have troop damage, so we're going to be a little bit slower than I would like to be. That same slowness is going to happen once we get Heavy Choppas. I am going to try to bus rush without GBE, without troop damage, which I think is going to be full on stupid. What do we got against Justin? Juventus, 13 seconds faster, picking up the win, getting into those Heavy Choppas. And without flares, that would have been so painful. So we are gonna max these puppies out. I did have a question in the comments asking if the Heavy Choppa level influenced the heavy level. No, it does not. You have to max your heavies if you want the Heavy Choppa not to drop baby heavies. Now, do I dare go, like, that's gonna be 64 GBE. We only have 52 GBE, which means that it's not going to be super duper smart. So let's get rid of a couple of these things. Let's go down to something like that. What is that going to bring us down to? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 43, 46, 49. We have 3 GBE to spare. That's going to be absolutely stupid and ridiculous. Let's give it a go. I think, please let my math be right. We are gonna just straight up drop all of our Heavy Choppas right there, getting all of our bombardiers in behind. 3 GBE left over. My math was actually correct for once in my life. And now these guys just need to drop those heavies, get those parachutes going. And now I gotta figure out what order I want to do these engine rooms in. I think we're gonna go straight up counterclockwise. All of our bombardiers doing somewhat good things. That boom mine is about to end the life of that bombardier. Those 3 green mines also about to do similar things. Let's get a flare out. Those green mines going to be bad danger. So we are going to throw a couple med kits on those, trying to save a bombardier or 10. Did manage to do it, which is going to get us onto that next engine room a little bit faster, but it does look like our flare has expired. Tick 3 flares, not perfect for this task at all. Getting the flare back there, and now I am going to consider throwing... No, we're not going to throw any kind of shock. I was definitely considering throwing a shock. Let's get all of these guys moving back here in a second. Kavan has taken a little dirt nap. All of our bombardiers are about to die unless we can get this shock out in time, which we did. This person does not have a sky shield, so maybe, just maybe, this stupid strategy is gonna work. We're gonna find out here in a second. We are at 2 minutes 24 seconds, so definitely not fast, but the question is, will we be slow? So if we can pull off a post 2 minute time, an above 2 minute time, I will be incredibly impressed. That health is not going down super quickly, but look at that, we're gonna get like 157. Not bad. Definitely entertaining. Definitely, it's entertaining for the second until we can't win. So we'll see here. Did we get a win? We did not get a win. So very close, and close enough that it kind of has me wondering if it'll work. And also, quick note, don't do what I'm doing. Go 6 engine rooms. I know that I've been preaching the Heavy Choppas, but this is an alternate account. If you're playing one account, go 6 engine rooms. You will thank me for it later as you get more fun things such as building damage and or brick and or extra defenses. There's nothing super sexy at this level except for Seekers, but just know that the decking is bigger and better, and anytime you can, it's all about the size. Go for the bigger deck. So I hear. We're gonna, again, just dropping all of this stuff over here. We're gonna get you guys up here, and I'm gonna hold off on Kavan, because I'm hoping that I can get Kavan to do a second win to clear that boom mine after all of this stuff has been gonzo. Kavan's not going to do anything useful for us at the second, so we're just going to hold off. I am going to farm some gunboat energy here, and then bringing Kavan over into here, and it's too late for that bombardier. Rip. Let's get a flare out in about, right? You know what? No, I don't even need a flare. Let's just do the same exact thing. Where that final bit is going to be super frustrating is, as you can tell, obviously that sky shield is going to differentiate the men from the boys from the girls, whatever the heck you want to say. Let's get onto that final engine room. Tick flares, clearly a problem here. Let's let these guys chuck one more time, trying to get a chuck onto that flamethrower, as it actually worked out fairly decently. Getting some extra bombardiers out, that pink zombie bombardier giving us all sorts of goodness, and then again, flaring onto that engine room. The bombardiers chucking actually ended up doing a little bit of good, because it should be able to keep them alive for a couple extra seconds, which in theory should help us get onto that final engine room. Flaring back into here, I don't have any sort of plan for what the heck we could do to keep these guys alive a little bit better. Our bombardiers are going to shoot everything every single which way, because they're going to be standing in the middle of nowhere, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they will clear in behind. Let's actually flare over into here, trying to get them away from that back mortar, hoping all of them go forwards and shoot the engine room and or the mortar there in front of them. I mean, decent. We're still not going to be fast. We're going to be 152 against a sky shield though, so bonus. Hopefully this entertained you a little bit as we go against Mostro? That's my best guess. M-O-S upside down T-R-O. Mostro. What do we got against Mostro? That's what we're calling this person. Sorry if that's not your name. Of course we lost. That is kind of the case. Anyways, that is going to be it for me. As always, thank you for coming in. Let me know what you thought of this. I know it was a bit stupid, but maybe there was some useful bits in there. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in.